Hi class, my name is Megan Cogshill and I'm going to be talking to you about the positive behavior support that is building a student motivation trap to increase academic engagement. Um, so this intervention uses motivating elements to capture a student's attention to complete academic tasks. So it has 6 steps. The first step, as you can see, is choosing an academic skill area. So in this step, you want to think about what academic area presents the greatest hurdle that the student's struggling with success-wise and just engagement-wise. So I chose reading, for example. Step 2, you're going to identify a target behavior. In this step, you would identify the specific behavior that you would like to increase using the motivation trap. So this could be anything from math computation to vocabulary to spelling. I chose reading comprehension, specifically like summaries. And something you want to remember about step 2 is that you want to start small when you're identifying target behaviors. Start small, use more modest behaviors that are shorter so that it's easier for you to assess. So step 3 is identifying the motivator, like the high interest activities or topics. So this is where you would find what motivates your student or what my students are interested in. For example, I chose sports, specifically like running. But if you're uncertain about what your students are interested in, you can also observe the students or even just talk to another adult, like maybe a parent or a past teacher who might have more insight into what that student is interested in. Step 4 is linking the motivator and the target behavior. So this is the step that is the most important because this is what is going to actually engage the student. So you're going to set the motivational trap by connecting the motivator to the behavior. For instance, this student needs help with reading comprehension. They're interested in running. So I would have them read articles about running and start small. Like start with a smaller article that's an easier level and then have them summarize after each article. Step 5 is assess improvement in student engagement and on the target academic behavior. So this means that before you can judge that the trap has been effective, the teacher has to collect data on the academic skill and the student interest level. So you want to see if the target skills are improving, or if even the academic engagement has increased, because that's also part of this. And then step 6 is revise and troubleshoot the intervention. So motivation traps are dynamic. If the student is improving, then the activities can be increased in complexity or even length. So for instance, if the student is reading these articles about running and they're summarizing them correctly, then you can start maybe increasing the length or complexity of those articles, or even like throwing in, instead of doing like nonfiction articles, maybe throw in a smaller short story that involves running and see if they can comprehend that too. And if the student isn't improving, the teacher should reassess and try beginning at either a different level, or even if the problem is engagement, maybe the motivating subject wasn't the right one. Maybe there should be a different subject that the student is focusing on in these traps, so to speak. And I think that this is a tier 3 on the MTSS framework because it requires very individualized instruction. This is for students who didn't respond well to tier 1 or tier 2 intervention. But I mean, it is probably a good idea to use similar strategies just in all instruction, like using content that is relatable and will engage your students in a more personal way. So this is Student Motivation Traps. Thanks, guys.